Relax and get loose while I put you up on game. The Figure Booth with Josh and Nate. This that podcast folk. Those in the know. Batman vs. Iron Man. How would it go? We talking one of a kind. Collectibles. Mezco toys are respectable. It's unacceptable if it's not in the packaging. Nate don't take pics if you ain't rapping it. Nate's dirty tricks are always happening. But damn it, man, don't you be stressing. Round here we believe in plastic confessions. We trying to figure out the figures that's gonna stand the test of time. That G.I. Joe handmade hit me in the spine. There's perfection in the way that these toys are made. But I also wanna know, do I pick Wade or Slade? So this is where I come to kick it with the guys. The Figure Booth. Like, comment, and subscribe.
Welcome back, Toy Fam. You have made it to another episode. I am your host, Josh, aka Prime to the First.
Hey guys, this is Nate, aka Figure Fan _ Nate. You've reached episode 33, which we're calling Trick or Treat.
Yeah, the trick or treat. It's Halloween on
It is Halloween time.
Episode.
Yeah.
It's time to go get some candy, get those treats, or get tricked, or get treated. Sometimes some people like to go out there and get treated. Mario,
A little bit of both.
Yeah,
maybe a little bit of tricks, a little bit of treats, whatever your fancy is. Happy Halloween to all you guys.
Hells yeah.
It's an exciting time. It's weird to know that it's already the
end of the month. It's a little intense.
Ever to end.
Yeah,
and now we're in 2021, and it's almost over too.
Yeah, two more months and New Year. It was funny because I think I had posted something in regards to like the orders I got in my timeline, and usually holiday season it gets a little crazy because you got family visiting, you got plans, so I try to space it out, and I was like, yeah, I'm booked up. Like any new ETAs is going to be 2022, and High School Creations Mike, like he was like, oh wow, and I was like, yeah, no, it's a couple months, but he's like, no, I meant that in a sincere wow. But it's funny to think that the year it's gone by that fast. It's like we're already talking 2022 stuff. When you're pre-ordering stuff, it's like 2022. You're like, what? That's crazy. 2022. A lot of stuff got pushed back. It's just crazy how fast this freaking year has gone.
Yeah, I feel like everybody was looking towards 2021 as like, yeah, this is going to be a better year than 2020. And I feel like this is probably the aftermath of COVID.
Yeah. And
we're probably going to feel that even more next year.
Yeah.
So it's going to take a while to get back to normal, but it is crazy. I think the older that I get, the faster time seems to fly.
Yeah, it does. It feels like it. I mean, in the blink of an eye, we're going to be almost doing this for a good year. And it seems like we're just barely getting started. It's crazy.
It's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think if we time it right, if we don't miss any weeks, our 52nd episode will be a full year.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh man. Yeah. So we're more than halfway there. That's crazy.
We're close.
Uh-oh.
It's pretty nuts.
I'm having commitment issues now. I might get cold feet.
Yeah. It's cool though. I mean, we're trying to be as consistent as we can. We're trying to make sure that even with, vacations or anything else that comes up, that we try to deliver you guys another episode every single week. So I hope you're enjoying it. This one's going to be a little bit different. Rather than going into the normal topics that we do every week, we'll probably maybe talk about some of those.
Yeah.
But we wanted to focus on Halloween because that's what this day is all about. Maybe just learn some things about each other about Halloween and our favorite movies and just some other topics that we're going to kind of get into here.
Yeah. And it's always like great, like especially in the toy photography or even in the toy community, like around certain holidays, because Halloween I think is a good one. Thanksgiving and Christmas, like those three, I always see epic pictures from everybody in the community where it's either like a tree setup or a bloody scary setup. I love how a lot of individuals out there, great artists, use props from all sorts of different lines, and you're like, oh, I never even thought about that.
Yeah, it is definitely the time that you see the most horror shots, and I'm bad about doing it myself. Like I keep telling myself, I'm going to do some more horror shots. Yeah. And then I just don't get around to doing it because it's hard to kind of get in that mode sometimes.
Yeah.
But there's always a lot of hashtags and stuff that go on around this month, like October.
Yeah.
There's Battober.
Yeah.
that's going on, which I try to post a few for. And then there's the 31 days of, I think ACBA is doing the October 31 day challenge. So posting a toy photo every single day of the month.
Wow, that's tough.
But yeah, you just see a lot of people kind of coming out and just doing all kinds of crazy stuff this month. It's cool. It's definitely a unique time to be a collector. And then NECA, they've been doing their 31 days of fright, I think is what they're calling
that's right.
it.
Yeah.
So they're doing releases every single day of the month, or at least showing us stuff that's coming up for the future from NECA. So that's cool. It just seems like the whole community kind of gets behind Halloween. It's a lot of people's favorite holiday, I think.
Yeah, for sure. And
so,
what are we gonna jump into for the horror line?
Well, we haven't really talked about this before, but thinking about like Halloween movies, I thought we would approach a few different Halloween movie topics.
Yeah.
And just try to get your favorites and maybe why. The first one being, your favorite classic Halloween movie. So like when you think about the first Halloween movie that really either scared you or you got attached to, which one would that be?
I think the one that scared me was probably the Nightmare on Elm Street. It like really scared the shit out of me, where I was just avoiding it like the plague. But the one that hooked me and I couldn't get enough of was Halloween. Like it was so weird that this guy that killed you in your dreams, that just scared the shit out of me. But then like Michael Myers, I was like, I could sit there and watch it like on repeat over and over. And that was really, that and like, yeah, it was Halloween that really like that became my favorite. I mean, everything, I went through a phase where like everything and anything Michael Myers, I was collecting like mugs, pins, like, plush dolls, everything. I think I was Michael Myers for like 4 straight years. So like, okay, guy, like just go be a mechanic now. You're always a mechanic overalls.
Always in the overalls. Just go do it already. Yeah, the thing about I think Michael Myers that made him really scary was that he never talked.
Yeah,
you just heard him breathe, and he killed so violently.
Yeah,
he was always going after the babysitters.
Yeah.
So as a little kid, you're like, man, if I have a babysitter on a Halloween night, I'm screwed.
And I always found myself rooting for him. I was always rooting for him. I was like, get him, Mike. Come on, let's go. Everybody wants to be like Mike. I was like, yeah, Michael Myers, right? They're like, no, you got the wrong Mike.
I will say one that really stuck with me when I was younger. It's not like technically a Halloween movie, but Alien.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh man, that movie scared the shit out of me when I was younger. I remember just being terrified watching that movie. I think it does a really good job of playing with the jump scares and shadows and darkness and just the fear. We all kind of fear what we don't understand. Yeah. And that's what Alien is really good about, because it doesn't really tell you anything, just that this thing is hunting the crew the whole time.
Yeah.
You get that chest burster that happens.
Yeah.
That's one of them that really resonates with me.
Oh, see, that's funny because Alien always kept me away. I was like, but Predator always, I was like, come on. Like, I was always cheering for Predator. I'm like, get Arnold, I was always on Predator's side. Like, that's just so funny. Because like Freddy scared the shit out of me, Alien scared the shit out of me. But like Michael Myers signed me up. Predator, I was always there, like cheering Predator on. I was like, no, don't like use your cloaking. All right, get him, blow him up. Like, I don't know. Yeah, anything with Arnold, I was always like into, like, Total Recall, Blade Runner, stuff like that.
You just wanted to see Arnold die.
Yeah, I did.
Murder Arnold.
Get his head explode or something.
Come on, gimme. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Predators, I never considered Predator like super scary. I just considered it gory.
Yeah.
The way he would kill people.
Yeah.
And then he would strip the bodies of their skin and hang them upside down. And that was just like, what the hell is going on here?
Yeah. The one movie that always like grossed me out was The Fly. Like I saw bits and pieces.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, nope, Jeff Goldblum's one, he's creepy looking. He was super tall and lanky. I was like, can't watch this. Nope. I stayed away from The Fly for a really long time. And then Child's Play. Child's Play freaked me out. I don't know, something about the stupid doll. And I think growing up, everybody wanted a Buddy doll. Was it my?
I think it was Buddy.
A Buddy. Like it was like you had either a Teddy Ruxpin or you had like a My Buddy, and it was a My Buddy doll, right? And I was like, nope, he's like Chucky. Nope, not. I don't want.
Come alive and kill me.
I was like the only kid on the block that did not want a Teddy. And I'm like, Teddy Ruxpin. Nope, he's probably gonna kill me too. I was like, no, I'll stick to my G.I. Joes. And it wasn't until like I was older, like in my teens, where I'm like, okay, let me just sit through this. I think I'm old enough to watch it. And then once I finally watched it, I was like, oh, this movie's super cheesy. And now like it's funny. Like obviously, it's definitely dated. Where I think I saw it last year, and like my wife's a huge horror fan, so we go through all of them. She'll watch Nightmare on Elm Street, Chucky. It doesn't matter what time of the day. There's a horror movie always playing, and it's just funny. Like I'll start nitpicking. I'm like, look, there's this little kid riding the bus with this doll. No one says anything. He walked in his school and he walked right out, and everyone's like, oh, that's fine. And it's just so much. It's so day. Like everyone's smoking. They're smoking in the bus. It's like. He goes into like a crack house or something. I'm like, this kid is just going up and down the street. Now you can't have your kid like go down to the corner or go get the mail or something without freaking out.
You can't even, kids nowadays they're much more protected. I think a lot of the horror movies that we see now it's not like when we were kids where they just didn't care about that as much. R-rated was really, really gory stuff. PG-13 still had some gore in it. So even like that kind of stuff, I remember was just much more violent than it is nowadays. But yeah, Child's Play was one of those I didn't really check out until I got a little older.
Yeah.
And then I agree with you. It was not super scary. One of them, though, I remember when I was like a teenager, and this is going to date me a little bit, but when the Blair Witch came out, I remember I saw it in theaters, and that freaked me out because that was just a paranormal, like ghost witch type movie. Yeah, I remember that like as I was growing up, because I've always liked horror, but that was one of the ones that sort of really stuck with me back then.
That paranormal stuff. See, and for Blair Witch, I couldn't sit through it. The cam, like I think I sat maybe through 20 minutes. I got so nauseous. I was like, nope, I'm done. I'm out of here. But like looking at some of these classic horror movies, and we've got some lines that have done. So like the classics, you have Mezco that has done Michael Myers. They've done a Freddy Krueger. They've done a Jason. Texas Chainsaw is on its way, hopefully.
They've done a Pennywise.
Oh, they've done a Pennywise. What other properties or what other movies would you like to see them tackle?
Yeah, I mean, they seem to be really broadening their horizons because now they're doing Alien and they're doing Predator.
Yeah.
It's hard to think of one that they haven't done already.
Because like for me, like if they were to do a good a Candyman or even like a Chucky doll, because NECA did Chucky, right? So the NECA Chucky is really, really good, but like in a soft goods, like would Mezco be able to pull it off, or is the NECA one a solid one? So should Mezco stick to like Candyman or even like a Saw? Like give us a Saw figure. I think that would be pretty cool.
Yeah, Chucky would actually be great. Like if you just do like a half-size Mezco figure and make it a Chucky and just give it all the accessories.
Yeah.
I feel like NECA really kind of corners that market pretty well though.
Yeah.
Especially at the price point. You're getting great horror figures for $30. The Mezco stuff I haven't got as into.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, those are two great additions. I think Chucky would be a good one for sure.
Any other that like we could tackle Mezco? Like what would we want Mezco to tackle as far as like horror movies?
I think different versions of maybe like Jason, we only have one from Mezco, but
that's true.
He goes through so many different changes throughout the movies. I think if we can get more versions of him or like even Michael Myers, he's got a pretty standard look, but I know sometimes his face looks a little bit more scarred or he's got different weapons that he's using or something like that. That would be a cool thing to see them continue to add that. Even with Leatherface, they could add a bunch of different variations of Leatherface because he goes through changes too over the years.
Yeah.
But I think as far as the big ones, they've done a good job of really cornering that market. I think if they could dig a little bit deeper into some of those properties like Halloween, maybe Season of the Witch with the little kids, kind of like NECA did.
Oh yeah.
If they could do some of those, or even some extension characters like a Laurie Strode, or
that would be cool.
the Doctor from Halloween.
Yeah,
that would be cool. Or just give us more like alien figures, like a Bishop or a Sigourney Weaver. That would be cool to kind of see them expand on these lines, not just give the one and done, but give us something that kind of builds that universe a little bit more. I think that would be awesome to see from Mezco. Maybe in the future we will. I think with stuff like Nosferatu, Silent Screamers, I would love to see them expand on that. Like give us a classic Dracula, or give us something more about that, like Universal Monster style. They don't have to be Universal monsters, but I mean, it would be cool to see like a Wolfman, because now that we've seen them do like a flocked figure,
I
could see them doing a Wolfman.
You want a flocked Wolfman?
I mean, I'm just thinking, how are they going to do hair?
Be careful. You might you might get a bunch of people coming after you, but it's possible. Maybe give us like a PX version, flocked, and then like a non-flocked. Like give us that, because I would want one in brown and then like a black and white, like they did with their Frankenstein. If you give me a flocked black and white Wolfman, Mezco, you can even take your own style, because that's kind of where I was going. Like where Mezco, they can introduce the whole Rumble Society or take their own spin. I remember Todd McFarlane did these sets. It was like a Frankenstein set, and it came with a little scientist. And the only reason I was thinking about this was that Joker Gaslight, he came with a lot of cool accessories and the blood and just everything about him. They really captured that era, that Victorian, like Jack the Ripper. So if they were to do like silent screamers, cool, or like murderers or serial killers in history, give us a Jack the Ripper, give us, I don't know if you have to go down the whole line like John Wayne Gacy and all that stuff, but give us like a Jack the Ripper type of stuff from Mezco. I think that would be insane. Like if there was that Joker Gaslight gives you like a Jack the Ripper type of vibe, especially with the that apron that he has, that Texas Chainsaw Leatherface he comes with that apron. I can just see so many pictures that people can do, but they're so good at the props and the extra hands, and I don't know. I think that Gaslight Joker just really like gave them, or at least presented the opportunity that if they were to do like their own take on certain characters, it would be a really fun line, and it's something that no one else is really tackling right now, because I think NECA has like their stance on like these iconic characters.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. Serial killers. Mm-hmm. That would be cool if they did like a whole line of that, because they could do like Ted Bundy.
Yeah.
David
the Night Stalker.
Berkowitz. Yeah, the Son of Sam.
Yeah.
Zodiac Killer. Jeffrey Dahmer.
Yeah.
Gosh, who else?
But I mean, I think it's like a two-sided coin, because then some people are like, "Oh, you're glorifying like serial killers, or you're giving them."
That's true.
So maybe like but I think like Jack the Ripper, there's stories about him, like, or I don't know, just take your spin on like give us a horror, because at the end of the day, like, I wouldn't want like I don't know, I may be on the fence of, I got a Jeffrey Dahmer figure, and like then I rent somebody, they're like, it's just
right
to be considerate.
You're a dark bastard, man.
Yeah, you're like, you fucking sicko.
You really like killers, don't you?
Yeah. Yeah, it's like I'd rather have it be a fictional character where there's no consequence, and like someone's tied to him or something like that, where it's like, was Jack
real people haven't actually died from it.
Yeah, was Jack the Ripper for reals? I don't know, like maybe I haven't done my research, but give us something like that where it's just
I see what you're saying, though.
Yeah, like a time, because I think that again with the Gaslight Joker, that Gaslight era, that Victorian era, that was cool. So like pick a time and era, almost like a Bill and Ted thing. Like give us a Genghis Khan. They did a killer job with that Conan. Cool. Give us a crazy Genghis Khan. Give us Socrates. Give us, just give us maybe historical figures. That would be cool.
That would be cool. Yeah, or like kind of like you said with Jack the Ripper, they made it into Joker style.
Mm-hmm.
So you could still do classic comic characters, but make them look like someone else.
Right. Yeah.
Like a Red Skull is someone, I don't know.
John Wayne Gacy.
Yeah.
Here we go again.
John Wayne Gacy, or like a I don't know. This would be a really bad one. I'm gonna say it, but a Hitler figure is maybe like a Red Skull.
Oh yeah.
That would be really cool. Just stuff like that, where they're taking an idea but kind of putting their own spin on it.
Right. Yeah.
Like you said, I think the Gaslight by Gotham by Gaslight Joker was just so unexpected. But man, when I got it in hand, I'm like, this is perfect, because he is like a nasty Joker. He's got those bloody hands. He's got that little toolkit just full of torture stuff. Mm-hmm. It'd be cool to see them do stuff like that a little bit more.
Yeah,
they're fully capable of it.
And back in the day, Todd McFarlane would do a bunch of crazy stuff. Like he would do the Torture Souls line.
That's right.
I have 2 sets, and they're really good. Like they're just out there. And then he started introducing like fairy tales mixed with like that took a horror a horror stance, where like Red Riding Hood, but she like skinned the wolf. It was just crazy, where he was taking classic tales and just kind of adding a twist to them. I think if Mezco could do that, I think they would be a great, give us classic fairy tales. Give us a Humpty Dumpty all cracked up or something.
I wonder if McFarlane will do that at some point, start bringing back that kind of stuff. Because you're right, man. He was just into everything.
He was everywhere.
Yeah, he was making all kinds of stuff. And it wasn't, like you said, it wasn't the most articulated, but it was just so detailed and gory.
Yeah, I loved it.
They came with some great accessories and just stuff that would come with those figures.
Yeah.
I think, if McFarlane continues to be as successful as they are, we give him a lot of shit. But, I mean, he's selling figures like hotcakes, dude.
Yeah.
He's making tons of money.
Yeah. But go ahead. You can totally see him
bringing those back.
Yeah. No, it'd be really good.
Like a Horror Maniacs and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, yeah. Yep, exactly. Yeah, when he did his movie Maniacs, all that good stuff. Mm-hmm. But I think for Mezco, if they were to take their own spin on the classic, like give us an Invisible Man, give us a Creature from the Black Lagoon, that 5 POA set, hopefully that's a teaser of like, hey, if you guys are interested in this, we're going to give it to you in 112 line. Because a Frankenstein, you guys have done a Frankenstein. Just finish the line. And if it's something about the rights, then do your own spin. That Dracula looked kind of goofy, but I'm sure on 112, he may look really good, with this Fu Manchu. I think if you give us the rest of the line in 112, that'd be really awesome.
Yeah, because a lot of people, and I've done this myself, where you see a new release, you're like, oh, that's 112. You're almost hoping that it's 112.
Right. Yeah.
But a lot of the 5-point stuff sometimes doesn't come into 112, but that would be a great way to kind of connect those two, collectors.
Yeah.
Hey, if you like the 112 stuff, maybe get this 5 points line, and then you can get figures of both, and it's kind of all together.
And I think with Mezco, they can even just do like a random, like, hey, here's a mad scientist, and then give them a bunch of props, little test tubes and all that stuff. And I can see so many people doing like a, damn, I'm drawing a blank, the doctor from Arkham.
Gosh, now I can't think of it. Oh, jeez.
Yeah, and I was just talking.
I consider myself a DC guy.
I was gonna say, come on, you're my DC guy. But yeah, that doctor that runs Arkham Asylum, because I even bought the DC
Hugo
director.
Strange.
Yeah, a Doctor Strange, a Hugo Strange.
Yeah,
in a 112, or give us a classic mad scientist. Mm-hmm. That's bloody. You can give us so many variations on that. They can, really. I don't know. I just feel with that Gaslight, they have the potential of doing really, really good stuff because the accessories are so killer. And I loved it. You open that Joker suitcase and all the tools have their own spot. And I was like, yeah, that's really good.
Yeah, so, I had to do a shot just to show that off because I was so impressed with how that looked. And it feels very authentic with the figure.
Yeah.
And it would be great to get more accessories like that, which are kind of a little edgy,
Yeah.
It's not some effect for like a superpower, hero or something.
Yeah.
It's a torture box. This thing is made to kill people and to torture them.
Yeah.
I think it'd be cool to get more stuff like that. And maybe we'll get more in those horror figures. Maybe we'll start adding a bit more and maybe expanding those universes more.
Yeah.
That'd be cool to see that. As far as like instead of classic horror Halloween movie, or not even Halloween, but like horror movie, getting out of the classic area, what's like a modern horror movie that is one of your favorites? Like what's one that you've seen recently? You're like, man, that really sticks with me. Because I feel like nowadays it's kind of hard to find movies like that.
It is. I haven't seen anything lately that's I'm like, I'm not the biggest horror movie goer. My wife is. She's like, she watches The Conjuring I think that's always on every time. I haven't seen anything where, again, I'm not the biggest horror fan, so there's nothing that's really like sucked me in. What about you?
I would say Hereditary.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if you've seen Hereditary, but damn, that movie is messed up.
Yeah.
It is really messed up. And it's more of a modern movie. I was really surprised when I watched it. I'm like, okay, well, like I said, a lot of modern horror really just doesn't do a whole lot for me because it just feels sort of cheesy.
Okay.
And I feel like they're trying to recreate these old ideas, but Hereditary felt very original and just extremely disturbing kind of movie. Like I can't explain it. You have to just watch it.
Oh, okay.
There's just things that happen in that movie that just really kind of bother you.
It is, and I like is it more like messing, like is it more of a mind trip, or because I remember like a lot of the classic, there's always a serial killer, or there's always like a villain in that everyone's running away. But now it seems like it's more of like just it's always like paranormal, or it's like abstract. The horror is more abstract now.
It's more of, the best way I can describe it is like this curse happens to this family.
Okay.
And it starts to affect everyone.
Yeah.
And everybody like just starts to, their lives just turn into shit.
Okay.
You know, just things just start happening that are just really horrible. And it just gets worse and worse and worse.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's really good. I definitely recommend it if anybody hasn't seen it.
Nice.
It's one of those movies that kind of stuck with me after I watched it. And then It Follows. I don't know if you've seen that. But that's another nasty modern horror movie that's just really disturbing.
Of course, coming from Nasty Nate, we're gonna get all the nasty movies.
Yeah. I'm a huge horror fan, so I just love that kind of stuff. Like, I don't know if you've watched The Descent.
I see bits and pieces because I'm usually like under the covers like this.
Yeah, it's about those girls that go into a cave and there's like cave dwelling.
I'll see the minute they enter the cave, the covers went over my head. I was like, that's it. Shaking in the cover. Nope.
See, your wife's like, yes.
My wife's like, yeah, she loves that part. She's like, yes. Yeah. And I'm like shivering. I'm like, and she's like, no. Oh. She's like, let me turn up the volume now.
Yeah. You can see, you can hear the gore instead of see it. But yeah, The Descent's great. Another just nasty, gory movie. Let's see. Okay, sorry, I kind of diverted there. I wanted to talk about a little bit about more of those.
Scared me, man.
Stephen King. I'm a huge Stephen King fan. So anything Stephen King, like It, Pet Sematary, The Shining, that stuff is just great. That show, what is it called?
American Horror Society or American
Lacey's Story. It was on Apple TV.
Lacey.
I don't know if you've seen it. No. American Horror Story, though, that's another great one.
Yeah.
They have a show going on right now, which is like vampires and aliens. It's really good. It's good for the Halloween season. I think we talked about this, but Midnight Mass is another good one. That's on Netflix right now. That's horror related. It's great for the Halloween season. So if anybody hasn't seen it, watch it tonight for Halloween. It's fun.
Yeah.
It's a good time. But as far as other lines, maybe.
Yeah.
Sorry, were you going to say something?
No, I was just, no, go ahead. Go ahead. I think this is going to follow up.
Yeah, so you're talking about, okay, what we'd like to see from Mezco.
Yeah.
But now that we've talked about that, what are some lines that don't really do horror that you would like to see more horror figures from?
Yeah, and I think, like, seeing some of these third-party, like, the Noda figures, I just got that Logan limo driver killer.
So jealous about that.
We all know Mayfix has been killing it, too. I'm like, man, imagine if, like, one of these third-party, like Noda, was to do a Michael Myers and give us a ton of head sculpts, some killer accessories, and the soft goods are going to be on point. And then having another company like Mayfix giving us like a Freddy Krueger, like the flexibility, the articulation is going to be on there, the paint is going to be on there. That, just thinking about that, I'm like, man, that'd be crazy if some of these other companies would start to giving us our horror figures, because there is a large horror community out there, a lot of toy collectors that are into just specifically horror figures,
Yeah, and it's funny because Mayfix did a Pennywise. I can't even remember when it came out. I think it was like last year. Yeah, and I thought we were going to see more from Mayfix, but I agree. If you're going to do like a horror figure, a Mayfix would be great because of the level of articulation. You could really, get those slashers like doing the slashing.
Yeah. Can you imagine if you were to get like the girl from The Ring and from Mayfix, or from the Gucci Gang, give us a Yamaguchi.
There you go,
the Ring
Gucci Gang.
Yeah, she can get on those crazy poses.
Gucci Ring lady. That would be weird. Yeah. Super articulated in the crouching pose. Yeah, that'd be cool. I think Super 7 would be another good line, just based on what you see from what they're doing. Just super detailed figures. Yeah. Lots of accessories. I could see him giving like a severed head or something, or just body parts, or tons of weapons, or maybe some blood effects or something. Yeah. And then just really great sculpts, because that's what Super 7's known for. And then recreating those classics, Yeah. They're really good about recreating that nostalgia, and maybe recreating some old horror figures. I don't know if there's anything, maybe old like Kenner stuff that used to be like that. I think there was
I can see them killing it on the Universal Monsters line. If they were to give us a classic Universal Monsters, give us a classic Dracula, classic
Hey, there you go.
Wolfman, Frankenstein, and Creature from the Black Lagoon. Those four and just a ton of accessories, like that would be crazy. I can already see it, like Dracula with his bat, some soft good cape, a regular cape, all that good stuff, different facial expressions, a cross, a wooden stake, things like that. I think they would kill it.
Yeah, that'd be awesome to see them do that. Just more in general, because I think we are sort of limited. Yeah, NECA does it.
Yeah, NECA has such a good hold on the horror stuff, but I would just love to see a different company take their approach on the horror stuff. Just because I want kudos to NECA because they've really stepped it up on their QC. That used to be a big issue. I haven't lately. I bought in some NECA and I've had zero issues with them. So it's good that they've improved. But I would love to see other companies put their name in the ring and give us some horror figures. See what else they can bring to the table.
Yeah, and maybe a lot of companies do kind of stay away from it because of NECA.
Yeah, they're a little intimidated.
They're a little intimidated by what they're doing, and it's like, I can't compete with that, especially at that price point.
Yeah, that's true.
But it would be good to get some more exposure. And one thing I think you would love is maybe some Marvel Zombies, right?
Oh, man. You imagine if Mayfix was to do Marvel Zombies. Here's my only gripe with that Cap Marvel Zombie right now. He looks really good. I've seen the reviews and I've seen the pictures. He looks really good. But that blue is it's an animated zombie. I want Marvel Zombies from the comics. Like, I want that greenish, gorish. Like, I want him to look like a zombie. The Diamond Select zombies, those were freaky. Like, those look really, really good. That Cap comes with, you can take off his scalp and you see his brain. The Spider-Man.
I've never seen the Diamond Select ones.
Oh yeah, I have all the heroes. I don't have Magneto and Sabretooth, but I have Hulk, I have Captain America and Spider-Man. And the crazy thing is their bases make Silver Surfer, because in the first run, Silver Surfer is like the only one, and then they get a hold of them and they rip them apart. So each of their base comes with a piece of Silver Surfer, and you can see like his board is on one of them or his hand, and so they ate him up. So I wish Diamond Select would have continued.
Cool idea.
But the articulation is very limited again because it's Diamond Select. But the sculpt and the paint, man, it's killer. My Spider-Man Marvel Zombie, he's like, you can see the bone, the rib cage, and everything. I wish they would have done more, but it looks like it stepped out of the comic. So I would love if Mayfix was to do Marvel Zombies and give us at least the Avengers team, and let's go from there. I think that would be kind of scary for me.
Yeah,
it would have to be a line like that. Like, it can't be Mezco. It has to be like Mayfix or the Gucci Gang can give me some Marvel Zombies.
That'd be cool. Some Gucci zombies, like a Gucci Captain America.
Yeah.
Going back to what you said about Diamond Select, I think they're great because they also include a lot of prop pieces.
Yeah.
So you could have a bunch of different props that would come with horror figures, like maybe like a chain, like torture holding area.
Yeah.
Or I remember that Punisher. I don't know if you remember.
Yeah, with the
old
pinball
school the pinball machine. And he's got like a grenade in his mouth, and he's just dead, like hanging on the machine.
Yeah.
Stuff like that would be really cool as just extra prop pieces, because I'll pick up a lot of those old Marvel Selects just for the props that they come with.
And to me, it surprised me that Diamond Select wouldn't right now be like, hey, you know what? Let's do some Marvel. Let's bring the Marvel Zombies to get back again.
Right.
And with
Especially
new articulation,
with
it's man. Yeah. If they were to reintroduce the zombie line, Marvel Zombies, through Diamond Select, I would probably pick them all up if it made sense, because their articulation is very challenging on the ones I have right now. The Hulk doesn't really move, but you don't need him to move. He looks grotesque. Right. That's what I'm missing from the Hasbro one. And right now it's great, but the blue, to me it's not zombie enough. It looks good, but I get it. It's coming from the What If series. I just wish I want a little bit more realism, like from the comics, Marvel Zombie comics. Yeah.
I think it was a good representation of the show, and it was cool to see them do something different. Like, I didn't expect holes in the sculpt and, bones being exposed and half the face gone. I didn't expect they were going to nail it with that much accuracy. Yeah. So it'd be cool to see what else they could do with that.
And that's crazy that they put holes in the sculpt and stuff like that. I have the mini mates Marvel Zombie set, and I have all of them, like even the SDCC ones.
Oh, nice.
And those surprised me really too, because you can take off the wasp's head, and then you can see like a little bit of the skull, and she's just a head on a like part of her spine's like attached to the bottom of the head. Which in the movie, like I forget who, but someone's carrying her head around. But they went all out. The only one that was surviving was Black Panther, and he has part of his leg like bandaged up, and he's like on a crutch. But they're mini mates, and they're still like the paint on them is on point. You take off all their headgear and stuff like that. There's like a zombified mini mate face underneath that.
That's
so
cool.
It's really, really cool. Yeah, I freaking love those. And usually on Halloween I bring those out.
It's like a decoration.
Yeah, I'm like, yep, that's as horror as I get. But Marvel Zombies, I'm all about the Marvel Zombies. Like that's a scary thing. If other lines start doing them, whew, that's it.
You're in trouble.
I'm in trouble.
Yeah, so if any toy companies are listening, Josh will buy it, even though he's telling you not to do it.
Don't do it.
Please don't do it.
No, Super 7, don't do it. Nobody do it. Just don't do it.
It's like a kryptonite for Josh.
Could you imagine? Oh yeah, no, don't do it.
Can you imagine what? Tell me.
No, I was gonna say if Super 7 was to do Marvel Zombies, and like
man,
a ton of accessories like guts and stuff, because the mini mates,
some characters' head.
Yeah, the mini mates are really like they're if you do you have any mini mates?
No, I actually don't.
They're blocky. They're really chunky. Obviously the articulation is limited, but it's the paint and the little like accessories that they come with that really make it a fun factor. You know, so the Marvel Zombies, you can interchange everything. You take off Wolverine's cowl, and underneath it's just like a zombified Wolverine. It's crazy. You see his rib cage exposed, and it's like, yeah, even though it's a square, the fact that they painted it and they made it look like bones coming out, like that's really cool.
It is cool, especially for something like you said, a little bit more simple.
Yeah,
and still able to get the idea across.
And I've been hunting down, which I should have, but I just stopped just because I was like I wasn't doing nothing with the mini. But I was gonna get all the villains, the zombie Marvel villains, because they had like the Vulture, they had all they kept it going. I just ended up getting the Avenger team, and it's so much fun because you can interchange so many parts of them. That's that fun factor. And I think if Super 7 wants to do that, where they include like, hey, you can take them apart at the waist, and then here's a guts accessory,
cool.
and like they're dragging, they're on the floor. That to me would be over the. I think Super 7 would knock it out of the park.
Yeah, that would be awesome to see that. I totally agree, because just the level of detail they would be able to pack in, and if they could swap out body parts, like maybe it's the first bite, and then you get to see kind of like decaying Captain America. Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah,
a lot of possibilities.
That gets me excited.
Yeah, definitely. I think there's just so much area to tap there, and even though NECA is doing the American Werewolf in London, those Nightmare Demon figures that they're doing, the little soldiers,
those look really good.
Those look really good. Like I would love to see more stuff like that coming from other companies too. Even though NECA is doing a great job,
right?
But just that's a good army builder where you could have just a bunch of, because they come with like 4 different heads. You could buy 4 of those and you got 4 different guys. So yeah, I mean, it's hard to think of other companies other than NECA because they're doing such a good job. But I definitely think more diversity wouldn't be a bad thing.
No, definitely. And if these third-party companies were to, like, I think right now the third-party companies are doing a great job of trying to give us the like the staple, the bread and butter, which is like just superheroes. They're giving us the Marvel stuff. They're giving us the DC stuff. But if they were to start giving us like horror stuff, or just kind of like, hey, here's your random civilian, or here's a set of goons, or here's a set of like, that's what I think a lot of us, especially like those photographers that are looking for like, hey, I just need some background people, or I need some generic bad guys. I know when I was really into photography, I'm like, I just need some background. Like I need like just a dude in the background. I don't need it to be Peter Parker. I don't need it to be I just need it to be a regular dude. I need a Nasty Nate chilling in the background with a bag of cheeseburgers, or I need me Mario doing his cha-cha. Like I just need some background people,
Yeah. And maybe not full price background people. Like if you could do an army builder pack.
Yeah.
Like give me 4 figures for like $40 or something.
And the crazy part is sometimes those background people get really expensive because you have to buy a main character, and you got to find custom work from the community, and you got to customize it, and you end up spending over $100 easily on just a a generic character.
Right.
But it looks so good. It adds so much more to the picture.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing.
Yeah, like you said,
that's the struggle.
Well, and that's the thing. They become very popular, the army builders.
Yeah.
And they can be hard to find because everybody's trying to collect them and build their own army. And so it's like, if they could have more packs like that, where they're just giving us a bunch of random figures, and that would be
like those the 2 set that Mesco did of the Night of the Living Dead.
Mm-hmm.
I think if they were to revisit that with better bucks, because it was on the Joker buck, right?
Yeah,
I think
that was on the first generation Joker.
If they were to give us on a Gomez buck, and give us some man, like I'd get myself a couple, and just give us variation. Like I love the fact that one had plaid and the other guy looked like. I've seen them in shots where they're using them as like, oh, it's a crime scene, or it's just a dude that got shot up. Like that is perfect. I've been on the fence of picking them up, but that buck, I hate that buck. I hate that Joker buck.
Yeah, I don't like it either. Oh, I think one line that we haven't even mentioned, which I'm surprised we haven't, Storm Collectibles. I mean, what they do with Mortal Kombat. Yeah. And I'll buy some of those Mortal Kombat just for the accessories. Yeah. Like we've talked about it before, that Sub-Zero, the human Sub-Zero. He comes with that blood spatter and the body parts and even the ice cube, the clone. Yeah. But the Storm, if they got into horror, what they would be able to do. Just slash effects and all kinds of crazy stuff.
They'd give you a buff Ted Bundy.
Yeah, right. A buff Ted Bundy. Yeah. He will wreck your shit. Yeah, but Storm would be cool, I think, to see more horror stuff. And they do like Mortal Kombat, which is somewhat horror.
If they were to do like a horror accessory pack, just blood effects.
That's what we need more of, is accessory packs. Yes.
Blood effects, accessory packs, weapons. Here's some decapitated heads or skulls, or give us the things that Sub-Zero and Scorpion come with, flames. Because Storm Collectibles, their accessories are killer.
They really are.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
And I get it. They want to sell figures, which is why, like,
if they were to do accessory packs, they would sell those too. I'm buying one. If you were to buy the accessory pack from Storm Collectibles, blood effects and like
I buy multiples.
Whatnot, let us know. Like if you're gonna buy one, here we go. Let's start this movement.
Yeah. I would totally get it. But I mean, companies like that are really good about doing those accessories. I think we need more of that, because we just don't get around this time. You see it a lot, but throughout the year, you just don't see a whole lot of horror love, or like a Jaws. I would love to see some company do a really good Bruce.
Oh yeah.
The actual shark. I think NECA said they might be doing that.
Yeah, and that picture was teased like a while back.
Yeah, I know they did the cloth Quint, and they're going to do the other guy. I can't remember his name, but Richard Dreyfuss.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just going to call him Richard Dreyfuss because everyone knows who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But I would like to see a Bruce. Yeah. Or just more companies doing just unique stuff like that.
Yeah.
It'd be cool. I think McFarlane is probably going to start going down that line because he's already doing Spawn. Yeah. He's starting to do his own original stuff now. Yeah. I think, it's Tony Mac. He wants to make money, and he wants to do whatever the hell he wants to do. So I think the movie Maniac stuff is not out of the realm of possibility.
Right, because it seems like he's now like he's recycling his ideas that were golden. Mm-hmm. They're still gold. Hey, they're still gold. They're selling like hotcakes. But
Dark
I'm like,
version.
I'm like, if he gets to those torture souls again, like redoing them his way, like with some articulation, because they didn't have any articulation.
Right.
But I was buying them, like I was hitting up my KBs and walking out with like 2-3 bags full of. I'd buy the whole set. I was on the hunt. I was getting the torture souls, the fairy tale twists, the dragons that he was doing. I was buying them all because it was on point. They didn't move for shit, but
they didn't move at all sometimes.
No, they didn't move at all, but they make some killer pieces. And there's been times where I'm like, I'm going to sell these. But then I look at them, I'm like, damn, like these things are over 20 years old. The paint and sculpt is on there. They're just missing the articulation, which even the torture souls, it would make sense if he was to revisit that line and be like, hey, you know what? I think bunch of us would buy that line if you and give us your shitty articulation that you're giving us now. Like it's torture souls. Like I think that would be killer, especially for our Halloween episode.
Give us the shitty articulation you're giving us now. There's a store, toy store next to me that actually has a lot of those movie Maniacs and the other one that you mentioned. They're worth a lot.
Oh,
You
damn
know,
it. Yeah,
they're
no, they are.
expensive.
Yeah, they are. They are.
They're because they're so hard to find, and I don't think he produced a ton of them. So
No, and I regret selling.
pretty rare.
I went through the phase where I was like, oh, these, because it was my articulation phase where I was like, oh, these are fucking statues. I'm selling them, and I was selling them in the, I was like, I just want to get rid of them.
That's and then when you try to get Marvel Legends and you're trying to compare the two, you're like, no,
yeah,
I don't.
And then I was taking pictures. I'm like, oh, I need some props. Oh, you know what would be really good? And I was like, looking for some stuff that I had sold, and I was like, damn it. Yeah, no, and it's funny because I found someone had given me Toddy Mac when he did the sports, and it was like a football player, and I ended up ripping off the football off the dude's hand because the football was really good. It's a perfect size, and I'm like, great, now I have a football. Like I threw the fucking figure in the trash, but I'm like, the football is perfect. I'm thinking of a picture, so yeah, now I got a football 112 skill, so it's perfect.
He really did everything. I forgot he did those football.
Yeah, he did sports. I mean, he did basketball. He did hockey. He did, and that's the thing. Like, if he was to give us, I don't know, just I can go on days for with Toddy Mac. It's like I love what he does, but sometimes I'm like, dude, like have a consultant and make sure that consultant is part of the toy community.
If it's not Toddy Mac's his own consultant. Does this look good? Yeah, it looks good.
Yeah.
Okay, and cool. Let's put it out. Right. Yeah. Pew, pew. Let me grab somebody in my office to. Hey, you're super short.
Yeah, hold it.
Let's put this up next to you. That poor lady. She had no idea that was coming.
She was a huge Toddy Mac fan, though. Her office was full of Toddy Mac.
Well, it has to be. You're gonna work for Toddy Mac. You gotta represent.
I'll work for Toddy Mac and hold a monster truck. I'll be like, I'm tiny here. Hold like.
That's the first thing he's gonna ask you when you come in. He's like, "Hey, you pick up that new wave?"
I'm like, "Yes, sir."
Got
it right here.
Yes, sir.
It's in my trunk.
You don't have the full wave. You're missing one. You're fired. If you're not representing Toddy Mac, you're gonna get fired. I think it'd be weird to work for him. And that was a weird tangent, but yeah. So as far as like other things, there is the Batman: The Long Halloween animated movie. Which is on HBO Max. I watched part 1 and part 2. It's great. It's probably one of the best adaptations of an old comic.
Yeah.
Like I felt like they kind of lost their way a little bit with some of those. Like Hush felt weird. The Killing Joke was a little bit different. There was that one where Batman hooked up with Batgirl, which I didn't like.
Yeah.
But The Long Halloween is back to that good formula that we saw with The Dark Knight Returns. It's very really accurate. Good. Very accurate comic recreation. It's great.
And did it? Because I saw it a couple of weeks ago, but I saw that they're releasing they're re-releasing it just in its own entirety, or are they doing a part 3? Or because I saw it on the previous on HBO Max, like Batman Long Halloween remastered. I don't know if it's just like all in its entirety.
Yeah, it might be just one that collects both parts because there's there's a part 1 and part 2, and they're both like an hour and 45 minutes, so it's pretty long.
It might be just be both of them together now. I just thought it was weird. It's like, coming soon, Long Halloween. I'm like, wait, didn't I just watch that? Like, why do I need?
Yeah, no, it was one of those immediate releases on HBO. So I think they did part 1, and then part 2 came like a couple of weeks after.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I mean, it's long. Like if you watch the whole thing, it's almost like close to 4 hours. So it's a long movie.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, you're definitely going to have some time.
I did. Yeah, I sat through it. No wonder I was like, man, I'm tired after this.
Yeah. Yeah, I had to split it up because I couldn't watch it all together. But yeah, and if anybody hasn't seen it, it's great. If you're a Batman fan and you're not familiar with that story, which I think a lot of us probably are, but it's a really faithful recreation.
And like on our Halloween theme, like some of the Halloween characters that fall under Batman's umbrella that we're still missing would be obviously Scarecrow.
Yep.
Right, Clayface
and Scarecrow.
Yeah, a Scarecrow. I don't know if they would be able to. They might be able to give us a really killer Clayface.
Clayface would be amazing. I don't know if Mezco could do that. I don't know what that would. I just can't imagine that figure on a Mezco. You know, what are they going to use, the King Kong body and then just
they'd have
put a bunch of extra crap on it?
Yeah, like maybe Storm Collectibles would give us a really killer.
Oh, that'd be cool. Yes.
Clayface, because it has to be massive. It has to come with, I don't know, just Clayface.
He's got to be able to manipulate his body. You know, that's the thing. You got to be able to change his body, or like, you need an arm that's like a club, or
Because like I have the Shao Kahn from Storm Collectibles. He's a good size, and he like just picturing if Clayface was to be that size and with all the accessories that Storm Collectibles does, I think they would do a killer job on Clayface. And I need that Batman animated series version of Clayface. Like I can't have no other Clayface. And then the last one would be Man Bat. Like we need a Man Bat. You know,
Man Bat would be amazing.
And then who would do that? Would it be Mayfex, Gucci Gang, Toddy Mac, Mezco, Storm Collectibles?
I can't see Mezco doing that. Storm Collectibles could probably do it because he would need to be a big figure. Yeah, he'd have to be huge. And the last one I remember was from the DC Direct game, which was a remake of the Arkham game version, which was more of a realistic version.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I kind of want the classic animated series style because that seemed more. That's just what I resonate with. Yeah. Another one would be really cool that I don't think we've ever seen figures of, at least not that I'm familiar with, is a Solomon Grundy.
Oh yeah.
Born on a Monday.
Storm Collectibles would kill a Solomon Grundy.
He was in the games, I think, too.
Oh,
they're doing the Injustice games. I think he was an extra.
Yeah,
character.
he was.
Yeah,
oh, dude, if they do a Solomon Grundy, because in the long Halloween, he was awesome.
Yeah, he was great.
Yeah, he was great.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Solomon Grundy would be epic.
I know. I'm really surprised we don't have any Solomon Grundys. There's not one I can think of.
Just that Build-A-Figure.
When was that?
DCUC.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. So old.
Yeah, because I have like 2 legs of Solomon Grundy.
I was going to say you probably have the whole damn wave.
No, I hated those stupid joints from the leg joints on DCUC. Like, nope, I hated that.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's the thing. Yeah, DCUC had no thigh swivel. It was just
it was stupid.
Just pop out.
Yeah, and my god, it looked so bad. It looked so bad. I hated that,
especially on a Grundy. Grundy doesn't do the splits like that.
It looked bad on everybody. Like
it's old school, you know. It was.
I was hunting them like crazy back in the day.
Yeah,
pushing 5-year-olds down and everything.
I could see you going to Toys R Us. Get the hell out of my way! Pushing kids down. That guy's a bully.
I was like, "Oh, look over there." He's like, "What? I'm on your mom's calling you," and then swoop,
putting your hand on their face.
Yeah,
get out of the way.
I step on their toes.
Yeah, Solomon Grundy would be great. Now I really want a Solomon Grundy figure. Killer Croc, we got the Mattel not too long ago, so it's not that bad.
But we did see a third-party tease. I think it was from 5K Toys or VCS Toy Box. They teased a Killer Croc, and it was on the Abomination Build-A-Figure. The Killer Croc head, and he came with the pants, the prison pants.
Mm-hmm.
Once that goes up for pre-order, I'm all about that. Like, it's on the Abomination Gameaverse body.
Okay,
that's perfect. I was so stoked when that was announced. I thought I sent it to you.
I think you might have. Now that you say that, I'm
always trying to get points, so I was like trying to enable you.
That kind of rings a bell a little bit now that I think about it. But yeah, I'd have to see it again. Yeah, more Batman villains is never a bad thing.
Yeah, but I think an ideal Scarecrow would be killer.
That would be awesome.
You know, we've seen a lot of custom head sculpts out there, but like, give us a soft and Scarecrow has to be soft goods. Like, I want some fucking little hay coming out of his neck and shit. Like, that'd be good.
That's some fucking little hay.
A little bit of hay, like some hay from his neck, like he's almost Wizard of Oz type of scare. Like, I want some hay.
I was gonna say, I'm thinking like, is this Wizard of Oz Scarecrow? I don't remember him.
He doesn't have hay. Oh, maybe I'm going to Wizard of Oz. I'm like, then now I want a Tin Man. I want a.
He needs to have syringes on his fingers.
And definitely
the mask and the hat.
Yeah. Okay, maybe no hay, but
maybe no hay. I don't think hay.
Okay, hay's out. Hay's out. Let's scratch off hay. Hay is out.
Yeah,
that's my spirit animals. Hey.
Yeah, so that was good. I mean, a little bit of a tangent into the horror stuff, kind of some wishing of what we would like to see.
Yeah.
Hopefully that resonates with you guys on your Halloween. And of course, maybe if we're not going to do all the segments, we at least have to do a figure aficionado.
Oh,
right?
We have to. Yeah.
And there's one guy that I know, and I was kind of waiting for the Halloween episode to really broadcast him.
Okay.
His name is Traumatic Exposure.
Okay.
And you've probably seen some of his work before.
Yeah. I know that. I've heard of him and know the guy.
Yeah, I've talked to him many times. I've bought a couple of things off of him, but he is just one of his quotes in bio is "Every day is Halloween."
Yeah.
All things trauma and horror. He's a big fan of Trauma, which is what the hell is that guy's name? God, I'm doing awful on names right now. Toxic Avenger.
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah.
A big Toxic Avenger fan and a horror fan. And he just does really creative work. He did one recently, which is, Chucky watching his own show or his own movie on the couch, and then there's one where it's Michael Myers like showing off his skin, and he's just really funny. He does a lot of like just very creative stuff. He did one, The Werewolf of Wall Street.
I like the Michael Myers showing his shirt. He's like, hello October. If you're looking for me.
Yeah, it is me you're looking for.
Yeah.
Happy Gilmore with Freddy looking down a golf hole like Happy Gilmore. He's
the Fozzie the Bear with the Joker outfit.
That was great. Smoking a cigarette.
Yeah,
he is just extremely creative, and he makes a lot of his own custom figures, which I think is just awesome.
Yeah,
which
takes a lot of work,
It takes a shit ton of work.
Yeah,
like you need to have all the parts. It's not cheap. You got to make all your own stuff, but a lot of the stuff that you see on his page are custom figures that he has made himself. He makes a lot of his own backgrounds, and he's just super creative. So I just want to give him some exposure, especially on Halloween.
Yeah.
If you guys want to get some last minute Halloween toy photo goodness, go check out his page, Traumatic_exposure. You'll definitely find some good content there. So shout out to him. Please give him a follow. He's a great guy.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah. So what else?
Man, it's gonna be a good Halloween. Hopefully everyone gets out there and gets their costumes ready, get their candy, and enjoy themselves. Make it a safe one too,
Yeah, stay safe out there.
I'm excited to see all the pictures coming up from everybody and all the content that's coming out.
Yeah, I can't wait to see everybody's costumes. I can't say there's anything specific that I'm doing for Halloween, but I'm just going to be enjoying it.
Yeah.
So
you dressing up, or do you have a plan of what you're going to be dressing up as?
I don't think I'm actually going to be dressing up this year. I used to get really into it.
Yeah.
I did
the horror guy. You're not going to dress up. You got to dress up.
I know.
You should be the Kool-Aid guy.
Kool-Aid,
like knocking down kids, be like, oh yeah, no, not hey, that's the Fonz.
Hey, oops, oh shit.
Yeah, no, you gotta say, oh yeah,
and just bust into somebody's house, just bust their door down, like, oh yeah,
yeah,
and then leave,
and then just walk out.
They're just throw some Kool-Aid in their face and then get out.
Yeah, be the Kool-Aid guy. That'd be funny.
That'd be cool. Maybe I'll just do that when kids come to the door.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Just give them Kool-Aid packets.
And then like have a spout, and you're like, here, you want some Kool-Aid? And you're just like,
spraying in kids.
They're like, wait, what the hell's going on?
What is this? I don't have a cup.
And then everyone's like covered in red. They're like, it's Halloween, it's blood. It's like, wait, so you're bleeding everywhere?
They won't come to my house next year.
No, they
make
won't.
sure we don't have to buy Halloween candy. Not that much.
Everyone's walking away from your house looking like Carrie.
Yeah,
see, that's a figure we need. Carrie, Mesco.
Carrie, there you go. That's a great one.
I would freak. Carrie, Poltergeist. Those are my two wish lists. Like, give me a Poltergeist.
So for
not Poltergeist, Exorcism.
I was gonna say, would you
Exorcism.
For Poltergeist? What would you just have, like a little kid or something? Or?
Yeah, I want the girl from Exorcism, like all like possessed
with a twisty head.
Yeah, with a twist.
Yeah, her head needs to go all the way around.
And then she comes with the vomit accessory.
Swappable clothes with vomit all over it.
Those are my two wish lists. So, Exorcism and Carrie. We'll end it with that. What about you? Two wish lists, that whatever line.
Wish list figures.
Yeah,
it would probably be.
You're the horror guy.
One. I know.
Come on, I spit out two. Come on, I'm not the horror guy.
I want a Shining figure.
Oh yeah.
So nice. Jack Nicholson.
Here we go. Figure. Hopefully we get a Joker then.
Oh man, if we can get anything Jack Nicholson, I will just buy it to get the head. Like, just give me the head sculpt. Hey, I'll put it on my mask.
It's all about the head. All right.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, it throws me off a little bit. I think so. A B-list horror movie that I think a lot of people would want a horror figure from is The Terrifier. Have you seen that?
Mm-mm.
Oh man, that is a nasty, nasty movie. But the guy has a very distinct look. He looks like a broke man's Joker.
Oh, okay.
He's got like the black and white face paint, and he's wearing like black and white clown gear.
Yeah,
he's just super creepy, and that movie is incredibly gory. The way that he kills people. So I think a Terrifier would be cool.
Yeah,
I think I saw like a 1/6 version of Terrifier at some point, maybe from Traumatic Exposure.
Yeah,
but I think a 1/12 would be cool.
Nice, awesome.
Yeah.
Hey, there we go. Well, that's been our Halloween episode. Hopefully you guys enjoyed what we just spewed out for you guys, all over guts and blood and everything.
Literally vomited this episode.
And as always, I've been your host, Josh, aka Prime to the First. You can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, all under Prime to the First.
And I've been Nate, aka FigureFan_Nate. You can follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and on TikTok. And a big thanks to all you guys for all your support. If you guys want to support the Figure Booth even more, if you really just love us that much and you want to get some merch, check out thefigurebooth.com, which is right down below. We'll put a link as well in our description. We've got a couple of shirts on there. We're going to be adding more merch. You can get some Prime specific merch if you want that. Continue to check that page. We're going to continue to add to it. But we do have 2 shirts featuring awesome art from people in the community. So definitely go check that out. If you want to support us, you can get those there. And then, as always, if you want to support us, go to Figure Booth on YouTube, hit that subscribe button, hit the like button on all of our videos. Doesn't even matter if you see it, just like all of that stuff. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss our Monday lives or any other special things that we might do.
Yes, sir.
And thanks to all you guys for the support so far.
Yes. Thank you all. You guys have been listening to The Figure Booth.
See you guys.